For stance, hey. And close. All right, good. Good. So, welcome back to another class of the curriculum of the week. So, last week we worked on a certain portion of the curriculum. Each week it changes to another batch of techniques and supplemental basics and things that we put into it. So, this week is, in fact, this class here, a couple days ago we did yellow belt through green belt, techniques of the week. Now we're doing third brown through first black, techniques of the week. We also filmed a couple things that showed, because in this week of curriculum it starts with technique number 2, 2, 6, 10, and 14. Those are the techniques we study. We also, though, are working on throws, rolls, trips, and takedowns. Throws, rolls, trips, and takedowns. My son Joseph did some things with us the other day that you can find on our webpage as well, showing some of the drills we do. We don't want a lot of interaction right now, but a lot of drills you do to prepare yourself for those 4 supplemental parts of the curriculum. All right? So let's get started now tonight with the techniques third brown to first black. And again, this isn't a session where we're trying to do as fast as we can and to look really impressive and everything. What we're trying to do is mainly instructional, because there's, these techniques have been around for a long time. There's a lot of different versions of them. And what I'm sharing with you is the version that Ed Parker did with me. So when he hired me to be the manager of the West LA Dojo in 1987, he wanted to basically make sure every technique was done the same way in all of his dojos around the world. Everybody affiliated with him should be doing the ideal phase, at least, the same way. And if you did that, then it'd be easier to understand and learn the concepts and principles of Kenpo, because that's really, by far, more important than just learning sequential moves. We learn sequential moves called techniques to train us to think and move sequentially. The actual sequences aren't near as important as the principles and concepts within those sequences. All right? So a lot of people get caught up in, oh, we do it this way, oh, we do it that way. That's all great, because you move into that phase anyway. You go the ideal phase. Then you go to the what if. Then you go to the formulation. So you can have the rest of your lifetime developing different ways of doing things. Every one of these techniques, before I got to Ed Parker, I learned them at least 3 or 4 ways. And I got to Ed Parker, he says, do it this way, in the ideal. I said, yes, sir. And that's still what I teach to this day. But the what if, immediately start playing with the what ifs, and then go right into the formulation, which is also tied in with the what ifs. All right? Tonight, though, it's the ideal phase, the way Ed Parker wanted me to teach them at that dojo, and then throughout his Kenpo world. And that's how I still do them, in the ideal phase. All right? So let's get started. So Mr. Lauer, Mr. Ramirez, and Ms. Dasha Smith with us again. They'll be helping out. All right, so Dasha, why don't you, we'll bring you in for a couple of different techniques in a moment. Gentlemen, if you can face yourself on a diagonal. So, the number two technique for the third round is the Jufendu. The attack is a step-through right roundhouse kick. So, the opponent gets in a left neutral bow for a step-through right roundhouse kick, and the Kenpoist gets in a right neutral bow as well. So, step in 1. So they come up the circle, blocks the kick with his left hand, at the same time punches to the face. Immediately kicks to the groin, punches to the solar plexus and a forward bow. Now he's going to come up the circle from a forward bow to a horse stance as he strikes from the outer wrist strike to the neck and a back knuckle strike through the ribs. He continues that action and hammer fist to the back of the neck. Okay, do it in the reverse direction now, sir. So again, it's a step through right roundhouse kick, comes up the circle, punches, kicks the groin, lands, and now comes up the circle again, strike, and hammer. Okay? So when we're doing this technique, if you're in this position, when the kick comes in, so this is the apex. The apex of this circle, his kick is a circular kick. The apex of that circle is me, the target. The high point is the apex of the circle. That's where he has maximum power. What I'm trying to do is not just get away from the maximum power, because anything past this point, his kick's getting weaker and weaker as it passes through. Anything past the apex is getting weaker and weaker. Okay? So I'm not just trying to get space between me and the kick, I'm also getting aggressive and coming in and punching him in the face. And that's a key. It's one of our favorite moves in Kenpo. So if we're just in this position, you'll see, basically when you do this, have this foot replace the position of this foot. So I'm not just coming up to get closer to him. I could just do a drag step and punch him. You could just do a drag step straight up. You could just do off angle. But it's 2 foot maneuvers. You're same time. So as this foot replaces this foot, boom, replace it. So as I come up now, I boom, same time. So as he comes in, I'm shooting up, boom. So from that position, I had this out there just as a check, so I'm past the apex. But strike. So before his foot lands, I should be hitting him in the face. At this point, kick, punch. This punch bends him over. You'll see him in a forward bow. This hand's already checking. This hand's going to go pop and hit here. I go from here, here. I strike my outer wrist so I can hit and then loop over. Hit and come around. It's called a wrapping technique. I hit and then my wrist wraps around. Boom. All right? A type of a compound strike. My other hand gets down to his ribs. So if I'm here, I'm going to go this way. As soon as you're here, but as you do that, now I come up the surface. See, I'm not here anymore. Now I'm here. I struck and then looped. So if you're in this position, boom, now you're here. So that position is here, and you're going 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay? Let's see that? So one more time slowly on that one. And 1, kick, punch, strike, strike. Okay, emphasize those things. Again, your back foot takes the place of the front foot. You're moving up the circle and into the center of the circle. You're shooting, boom, same time. As if this hand is pulling this foot. As I start to punch, this is coming up at the same time. Same time. Okay? All right, let's move on. Next technique is circling the horizon, or a step to right punch. And they come in slow, parry, and punch, elbow, and good. Opposite direction now. Slowly. Steps and parries. Come around, uppercut to the jaw. Keep dropping in, and elbow strikes to the ribs. Hammer, and reverse hammer. Okay? And again, like most techniques, this one I learned a million ways. One of the ways we did is this. We always came on the inside. So now we're coming here. The way to remember this, again, like I said, I was taught this way. I would come here, and this would come on the inside. Boom. So as you come around, it's a nice move, but that isn't an inward parry. If the technique says inward parry, this is what Parker said to me. He says, Brian, why are you doing that? I says, because it says to do that. He goes, no, it doesn't. He says, that is not an inward parry. That's a pressing, striking check. I says, of course it is. So instead of doing this anymore, and I just love that move. I love that move. We have it in the other parts of the system. It's just not here. So instead, just parry. Parry comes out and comes back to my shoulder. That's a parry. So when I parry, my left foot moves, my left hand moves. So I'm going 1, and then 2 is this way. It comes up and under, boom. They're basically walking into it. Again, he's coming straight, I'm coming off, and then I'm coming in on the angle. Okay? So as he comes in, it's boom this way, straight out to the side, then in. Hitting here, still checking, only doing these strong checks. The next move is the hammer fist. So it's the back of his calf / knee. Come down and hit it, but the next move is I come down, so I contour down his thigh to reach that target. As I come back up, I contour up the thigh. I don't try to figure out where he is, so I'm not looking. I got to feel it. So straight at the inside of the thigh, and as you do, wow, reverse hammer fist. It's not necessarily a ridge hand. Mr. Parker wrote it, reverse hammer fist. So hammer fist, reverse hammer fist. Okay? And one more time, guys, on that one. Other angles, sir? Yeah. this way, and this is the way to do this technique. Step left, parry left. Step right, strike right. And then drop in. Hammer, reverse hammer. Okay? All right. Let's move on. And fall and cross. Fall and cross. Rear two-hand choke. So he grabs, steps off, breaks the thumb, step to his right, push drag in reverse, knee strike to the arms, kick to the groins, land, elbow. So there's a lot going on in there. It seems fairly short, but there's a lot going on. Again, he grabs, steps off, breaks the thumb, steps out on the 45, pulls away, comes in with a knee strike to the arms, kick to the groin, elbow strike to the face. All right, it's interesting though. Anthony, when you grab it. So on this, remember, they're not giving us a massage. It's here, the fingers are here. So I'm going to grab, but the idea here is not to try to pull his hands off. The idea is to let him be strong, and I'm going to push this thumb, all right? I'm going to push this thumb into my neck. I'm not pulling it off like he expects. I'm pushing it in. And that starts breaking that thumb against my neck, and that loosens his fingers. You're breaking their thumb, they can't still hang on with their fingers. So you're doing this. Yes. So as you do that, to do it even stronger, that's why we come and grab with our elbows up, so we can elbow down hard. This is a lot, but when I turn, this is even better. So we're mainly attacking his left thumb, also his right, but it's mainly here. Now, that thumb's hurt. Now I go underneath this way. Push drag in reverse. Then you got a compound strike. Because in one action, so it's like a ball kick, boom. The first part of the ball kick is a knee strike. So now, boom, boom. Okay. So that's your compound strikes. Combination kick is a compound strike. Okay? One more time, guys. Facing 12, like I did. So he grabs, steps off, breaks that thumb, and it's important to keep the back straight and press your neck into their thumb as you turn and anchor this elbow. That puts more pressure on his thumb and loosens that grip. Immediately, he goes under, push drag in reverse, knee, kick, elbow. Okay? All right, nice. And move on to twist of fate. Dash. So twist of fate, a lot of schools try not to practice this technique. It's not easy, it's a little awkward. Years ago, one of my Kenpo seniors, after we did a whole bunch of seminars on the East Coast, and he said, I was sitting around with a couple of seniors to me who were unmentioned, unnamed. They said, we're just talking about techniques. Yeah, I don't know, I don't do this one so good. I don't do this one so good. Another one says, yeah, I don't do this one so good. And Frank Trejo says, yeah, there's only one guy that did all these real well. That was Ed Parker. Yes. The rest of us are just trying to make the best of it. But every one of these techniques has things in it Ed Parker wants you to work on. Awkward or not, this technique came from an episode in his life when he was in the military and against a sailor who didn't have any common sense. But nevertheless, that's a story for another time. That's how this technique got into the system. He did this on someone, and then that person went to the brig, and Mr. Parker was fine. So, twist of fate, so they come in for a push. You step back and strike the arms. So, immediately, it works best if the person you're doing it on is taller than you, but either way, it doesn't really matter. It's always hard to dummy up for. So do your best, everyone, when you're doing this. It's tough. You all know that. If you know this technique, you know it's hard to dummy for. So he drops back and strikes, latches on. Now it does a slicing knife edge through the ribs. As he lands, he was taking her arms up and over and twisting, and then as he push drags in reverse, he pulls her straight down. Yes, and as she's going straight down, the knee comes in. Sometimes we'll bring him down and put him on our knee with one hand, with one knee, put him down, and then strike with the other. But technically, they're still falling backwards as you're knee striking them in the spine. So one more time. So, the slicing knife edge, as he lands, he takes it up and over and then just drops it down. Yeah, and that dropping down. If they're turning around and you don't check out their height, they're just going to turn all the way around and pirouette. We don't want that. They start to turn halfway through, you drop them down and they'll go straight down. It kills their rotation when you kill their height. Okay? All right. Anything about it? And squatty sacrifice. Squatty sacrifice. Whenever Mr. Parker did demonstrations around the country and around the world, this was one of the things. He loved leap of death a lot, backbreaker, and this one. And he always seemed to gravitate towards these techniques. So on this one, it starts like crashing wings. So they grab around the waist, arms free. He steps off and crashes wings down. Now again, if you're going to break someone's leg, when you do arm bars, you grab on one part of their limb and then press where that limb bends. Press in the opposite direction. With all your leverage points and your weights and your push and pulls and everything else. Same thing here, but you're going to grab with your hands, and actually the pressing point is going to be with your backside, your coccyx or your butt. But when you do it, it's the surface of your body. As long as you have a surface of your body, there's a whole section of our system where I work on nothing but figure fours. Whether they're locks or universal blocks or on and on and on. Chokes, there's figure fours everywhere. Well, this is similar. So it comes off and strikes, reaches down and grabs. When he reaches down, he wants to make sure he's in contact. His body's in contact with Mr. Lauer's knee, just above the knee. So right away, you feel your leg is trapped. At that point, he's going to sit down further and pull up on that heel. And that compels him to fall down, lest he get his leg broken. The minute he falls down, keep your knees apart now. At that point, the minute Mr. Lauer's on his back, the minute he is, you see a space open up between Mr. Lauer's leg and Anthony's groin. So Anthony goes to a concave stance right away to check it. Also, now that concave stance, his knees are right at Mr. Lauer's knee. Pull up a little more and cause it stay. Just tap or something. Yeah, so yeah, we'll tap with your hands, somebody else do. So he's pulling up, it's starting to cause more injury to his leg. Now he grabs the foot, starts breaking the foot to cause Mr. Lauer to start rolling. Right foot kicks him in the face as he turns around, stay, and lands. Grabs that foot with his right, a good grip, steps in and stomps through the kidney, kneels down, grabs that wrist, and tears the foot through the groin, stomp the spine, and break. Okay? Okay. So again, when we're doing this, Anthony, so go this way. So once you hit here and you go underneath, once you get a hold of that and cause it to go down and go in here, make sure you're braking. So I'm not just braking up here, I'm starting to brake this way. This brake starts him to turn. As soon as he starts to turn, I'm going to step. And this is important. When you step, yes, you're trying to kick him in the face. But as you kick him in the face, boom, mainly, even if you didn't kick him in the face, step here. Why? Because when you roll him over, he lands right on my foot with his groin. Bad for his groin, my foot doesn't care. So, right there. And that's the way it'll be every time. When you roll him over, onto it. Okay? And so with this position, Anthony, I'm going to pull you back a little bit. Okay? So we're here. At this position, come through and stomp. Somebody say, oh, then you step forward. You do. Anytime a weapon passes the target, hit it. So I'm coming through and stomping the kidney and then going down. So it's ba-boom. Kneel. When I kneel, if my foot is all the way up in the groin and I kneel, his groin now is getting crushed between the top of my foot and my shin. So as I kneel down, I'm putting pressure on that area and trying to get all the way to the spine. You usually don't make it because you're crushing the groin. As I kneel down to reach that wrist, I get crushed even more. So I'm crushing here as I grab. Now don't stand up yet. Rip your right foot through the groin. Then as you kick, lift. So as you stay. So as you reach down and go, this way. Don't stand up and then take your foot. Rip your foot out first to cause further injury. Boom. Stand up, pull an ankle and wrist as you stomp in the spine. All right? Good. And let's go on our diagonal.
Same thing?
No. So let's go to the next one. All right. So that's all of the third round. All of the third Let's go to the second round now. Let's go to the second round. Second round, number 2 technique is circles of protection. Overhead right punch. And so he comes with the overhead right punch and 1, 2, 3, and then shuffle in forward. Okay, one more time. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? And we want to emphasize, as they come in, you're shooting here and striking. So as this is coming in, you see the trajectory, again, boom, that's where it wants to be. I want to hit it before that, and I'm going to try to hit there. Remember to beat it, meet it. So don't wait for it all to get to me. Step in and strike. I'm trying to hit right there where the elbow is, draw a diagonal line, and hit right there. As soon as you hit there, though, when I stepped in, my hands were coming together this way. As I locked my back leg, that's when I'm hitting that arm. I came in together, locked. My hands are still here. Just as you hit that, now shoot it through. Boom. That's a heel palm, and this one turns into an overhead parry check. From that position, it is a heel palm, but as I now come out, I turn it into a claw and claw up. So it's a heel palm, goes through, claws up. So I'm 1, 2, 3, and then so we come down here to the groin, grab, this is checking. And you're in this position, in a wide kneel, launch, ascend, launch forward, and hit. This is pulling the groin out, and this is shooting to the back fist. Okay? All right, good. And one more time. 1, 2, 3 claws, and 4. Opposite direction. And 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, good. All right, so pay attention to those highlighted sections so you really work on the details. Capture the storm. Another capture the storm is another one of those techniques. Lots of variations you could have. I knew, again, 3 or 4 versions before that Parker said, let's do it this way. So, on the first move, we step in and block. Re-grab. Step through, hit knee. Step through, dislocate shoulder. Slide up, step back, break the club out, and hit. Opposite direction. And hit, grab, strike, up, slide, hit, and hit. Okay? So when Anthony's doing this with me, so again, he's in here, bottom in, here we are, this is where he wants to be. So I'm going to step over and turn. So much like we did in Clipping the Storm, where they came straight in and we shot this way in a horse stance, we went from a natural turn. So horse, same thing with this one now, we turn in, boom. Now watch the hands though. Again, lots of ways you can do this, but as both my palms are down right now. My right palm is going to stay down and go up and grab club and hand. So it's not just club and hand. Have a modicum of control. This hand just turns. So I have wrist and sometimes club, mainly it's wrist, but this one has club and hand. And the reason we do this is because now you have grip from the bottom, grip from the top, much more control. Okay? So again, we're blocking here. As you ride their force, just turn, boom. So you end up this way. And strike the knee. So we're not trying to stop them, we're trying to slow them down, ride their force, strike, and come. At this point, if I start turning his wrist, it starts hurting his wrist, elbow and shoulder. Turning. But when I turn and then jack up his arm really up, so stay. If I took this and shoot over my head, that's when he gets the injuries to the shoulder. Okay? So when we did this maneuver, and we were here, and we struck and hit, shoot it, use the power of your legs, twist and lift. And that's what causes the injury to that. Up here, start sliding your hand up, step through reverse. And in this position, you can see I have the advantage now leverage-wise. We're built, our hands are built to hang on to something that's being pulled this way. But when you push against the thumb, it'll break anyone's grip. Doesn't matter who it is, it'll break their grip. And the minute it breaks that grip, boom, just rip it out and then keep that circle going. Circle, hit the back of their elbow. All right, so we're here again. Push it away, push it towards their elbow. Push it toward, and it rips out, circle. Okay? Gentlemen, one more time. be someone trying to tackle us. Or grab us, or just step in and grab, not necessarily running across the field tackling you, and step in and grab, all right? So on the first move, you're on their line. He leaps off their line and does a knee strike. One more time. Straight in, he comes in and strikes. Good. So it's a knee strike to the solar plexus, hammer to the kidney, and a left striking heel palm to the shoulder. All that's designed to injure, but also slow down their forward momentum. So injure, slow down their forward momentum. But we're going to assume the tackle had enough momentum behind it to when he does the first move, it might slow him down, but it didn't stop him. So it knocks him back up, and he stays there, and follows up with that elbow strike to the spine. Again, that's target spine. From there, drops the hand between his jaw and his groin, spins all the way around, double strike, compound, and hook the face or any middle target, and we're out. Okay, now do it in the opposite direction. Okay, so they're coming in and low, and 1, boom, and 2. And now drop that hand, 3. Now right there, punch, elbow, and hook. And you're on your way. Okay, so I want you to come here. Let's go, and Darren can move around on this one. So when you're coming straight at me, so Darren, we can move it anywhere you'd like, but on some of these, so remember, they're coming straight at us. So when he comes this way, generally, in Kenpo, we're going to go one of 8 basic directions. So I'm choosing to go up on the 45, get closer to him to get off the line. As I come up, boom, you're hitting with a knee strike. So if you didn't do anything, it's like, whoa, what's happening? Boom, knee strike. But as we come up, I want to also try to slow down his momentum and then do some injury. So as he comes in, so as you're coming in, it comes. So this is hitting all at once, the kidney, the shoulder, and solar plexus. But this would have happened. For whatever reason, he had more momentum. It all worked well, but I'm going back. Boom, actually hit that elbow right to the spine. At this point, anyone who's been in altercations, you never want them to have their head close enough to bite you. It will happen. It has happened. So make sure this hand goes right down here. I was originally taught to grab and start turning the neck. Right? That's a good one too, but we have that in other techniques. This one just comes straight down, and as he keeps bowling through, I just step back. And as you turn around now, he came through, but I didn't move my hand. It started here, just turn. I hit once, so I'm coming, punching to the jaw with a sandwich. Slipping it through, boom, hit him with the elbow. And then this, as I keep stepping, this is a natural motion of my foot. I'm going to hook into the face, the groin, whatever it is. Don't even have to look back. Just as you come through, boom. As soon as you do that compound strike, bye-bye, just step out. Okay? So when you start facing up on the 45, back on your center line. All the way back on the other 45, and out. Okay? So you're working mainly on the X pattern. Right. Let's see that one more time. So we come in slow. 1, 2, drop the hand. 3, 4, hook, and just go. Intercepting the ram. All right, let's move on. And Deceptive Panther. So we did a technique, Detour from Doom, which had a certain foot maneuver in it. And if you remember, Detour from Doom, I said you're doing a drag step straight to the center of the circle towards the opponent, or you just off angle. 2 common foot maneuvers. But in Detour from Doom, you're coming up and doing both. You do both moves, boom. On this one, it's the same thing, but you don't do the punch. You shoot up, just do a universal block. They're doing a ball kick roundhouse combination. I am just do it in the air, but don't kick down. Just do the 2 kicks. Okay? So it's like they're coming to kick you in the groin. It extends, snaps back, and goes to the face one more time. Deceptive Panther. So it's a ball kick roundhouse combination. Sometimes people say it's a fake ball roundhouse. That's fine. But try, because part of your techniques, when you're learning your techniques, part of what you're trying to learn is how to do that attack. Not all these attacks, in fact, almost none of them are stupid attacks. They're all good attacks. All right? And they're common attacks. And that's why Mr. Barker had them in. They're very common. Well, do that kick. If you can't do a good ball kick snapping roundhouse, well, you should be able to. So practice the attack as well. Mr. Parker always said you have to have a spirited attack. Yes, have it spirited, but also be able to do it. Be able to do it. This is one of the key attacks. So they're not going to go full speed, they're still just moving up. So he does one, he does a universal block, and again, prior to Mr. Lauer's foot landing on the ground, Mr. Ramirez does a 9-fist kick to his knee. Lands. As he lands, he strikes right behind the ear. Pivots to a twist stance, hammer fist to the neck. Checks on his shoulder. As he unwinds, as he passes through a neutral bow, stiffens back into the face, continues through, and kicks and lifts with a grafted kick. Remember, grafted kick is a linear kick. You go straight in and straight back. Or you can do path of action with your kick and just lift it straight up. This is both. You start kicking linear and then lift it up. Mr. Lauer, do a right neutral bow, left neutral bow facing me. Now, drive your back foot to your front foot and do a kick lift. And do that grafted kick. So you're going to come here and do your kick lift. Yes, one more time. So he starts kicking straight down to like the knee, but then lifts it up. And as he lifts it up and with his legs straight, his body comes forward and counterbalances even more. Okay? All right. Again, it may not be your favorite weapon, your favorite tool, or your favorite kick. Practice it though. It'll make your other kicks a lot better. Okay? So let's see this one still fairly slow. Sure. Let's go to the other side. So again, Mr. Ramirez is going to take it just up to the first kick. He's an off-angle blocking kick the supporting leg. So one, boom. So if Mr. Lauer was still on one leg, he got his other leg attacked. When you have 100% of your weight now on that support leg, your knee is very, very vulnerable. So you kick it immediately when you land. That's a lot of energy landing. So hit it behind the ear, hammer fist the back of the neck, check, lift, and slide up and kick it lift. Good. All right, one more time, and go. Nice, just like that. Okay, so get that same foot maneuver, the same foot maneuvers you had in Detour from Doom. It's one of the master key foot maneuvers that we have in the system. All right, let's move on. And let's see, defensive cross. So remember, defensive cross isn't just for a right ball kick. You have to be more specific now. It's a right snappy ball kick, not necessarily complete follow through. It's like, what do you do with a snapping kick? Just like you're dealing with a weapon, especially a bladed weapon, a knife. The main danger of a knife is number one, the angular versatility. Even like Mr. Barger said, even an idiot doesn't know what he's doing, he still cuts you to death. It's just the angular versatility is such that they can close their eyes and scream, and still you might get cut. So the angular versatility on this is important. But do the first move. And then bring it back. Good. But knife is coming in and out. It's not the in so much as hard to parry and whatnot. It's when they pull back, keep them from pulling back so they can do it again. You got to trap it. So trapping is a huge part. He's trapping his kick on this one because he's trying to snap it back, but he's gonna trap it. So now he comes in one and hits it. Hit, kick the groin, smash the face, grab the hair, pull, ball kick, outward crescent. Good. Okay? So we'll just do it right from here. So when he comes in, normally the ball kick. So when he's doing this, normally you're gonna block it this way. You're going to block it. Just block it. Just block it. But now I'm going to block and trap. Block and trap. And again, he's going to stop him right here. I'm holding it right now, but you don't really hold it with your hand. You hold it with your hands, not your fingers. So I'm just latching onto it this way. And as I pull, if he had an intention of trying to, at that moment before I pull the punch with those hands, you pull on their leg, it tends to throw their arms back. But I pull and boom, I hit him. Before his foot's landing, I've hit him already. You can easily reach them because I pulled this just past. His intended point of contact was here. I pull it past, boom, and I can reach him. Before it lands again, pop, I'm hitting him one more time. Then scoop to the back, and from that position, kick and lift. This is interesting now. So we're here. This is vintage Ed Parker. So when you strike, just nice and grab. So I'm grabbing hair, grabbing jaw. And you're going to grab this and tear it. Tear it. And Ms. Parker said, grab his hair and ear, grab his jaw and his lip. But grab, and when I pull back, I'm going to twist it like a small steering wheel of a car. I'm grabbing, twisting. Then do your ball kick to the solar plexus, and then your roundhouse. But the key is, when he kicks in, I'm going to hit him one more time. He comes in, and I want to hit it and lock it, lock it, lock it. And all it is a lock and a quick tug, pop, so we can hit him. So when you're going 1, 2, you've already hit him. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. And then go. Trap it. Block it, trap it. One more time. Ready? And boom. Nice. Nice. Okay? And like we were talking about last week and the week before, and my guys have been here for years, all these advanced techniques are really 4 or 5 techniques put together. That one definitely is at least 4 seconds. Alright? Practice them individually and put them back together. And first round techniques. So dance with darkness. Dance with darkness is a combination right kick, right punch. So Mr. Ramirez is doing the technique. So Mr. Lauer just does the kick. He steps back and blocks it. Land. As he punches, he steps in and double parries it. And he steps in behind with his left foot and strikes. We're going to turn around in a second here. In a second. Then he slides up his left hand, hits the back of the head, grabs the shoulder, pulls down, hits the jaw. Now he hooks the eyes. Now everything anchors now. Both elbows anchors, so nothing's going to move. He kicks out that front leg in a sweep. Now when he goes to do the next sweep, he already poked him in the second time in the eye with his left. But he's going to spin the sweep in the same direction he did the front sweep. And it slowly, really slowly. What it does is start to make Mr. Lauer do the splits, and that's bad. But today, he's just going to fall backwards so he doesn't do the splits. And then Mr. Ramirez does what's called a retarded ball kick, coming in the inside circle, and then knife edge kick right away. Okay? So again, at least 4 seconds there. You could break that down into 5. But it's block the kick, step in and double block right there, and then he steps in and strikes. Okay? Now slide up and hit, grab, strike, and hook it, sweep, land, spin, and retarded ball kick, and okay. So on that last kick, the opponent's downed right here. We have kicks where we come straight in. We've had a ton of those in the system, straight in. We have one where you come around. So if this is the circle, the oblong circle, we can come straight in, or we can come around this side of the circle. Now let's come on the inside, this side of the circle, and that's what this retarded ball kick is. So if you have to adjust this, fine. But imagine that oblong circle, just adjust a little bit, and come up this side of the circle, boom, and kick. Come this way, boom. All right? So kick, kick. So as soon as you don't have to do it as a chicken kick, once you kick, land, kick, knife edge, and then you're back up. Okay? All right, good. And one time, is that the way it works? Okay, and go. So boom, boom, steps in, hits, grab, boom, yeah. Good. And as Mr. Lauer is here, so as he comes in and we drop, boom. As soon as this hand, you're going to go 1, and it really just comes almost right back up. If you didn't even have this hand, I would just go 1, 2. But you're going to insert this one so I come here. Boom. And remember, all these parries, this is a double parry. What you kind of start doing is trapping a little bit. You come up here and trap it and strike to the back. So I'm parrying and boom. I do a quick little trap. At the very minute, boom, I come on a slightly different angle and bust that arm a little bit. We have this where we come not just here, but we're coming here and up in. So as you're doing the double parry, you do double parry but turn it into more strikes. So parry, trap, strike, you go straight in. So you can do right into it, just break it, or here, okay? Nice little moves in there, but it's a vintage Ed Parker, this technique, okay? All right, let's move on. On first round, number 6, protecting fence. Protecting fence. So, left to right straight punch. So they come in 1, 2, good, grab, pull, kick, poke. Land, check, elbows, check down, hook, and you're out. Okay? This is the only place you would have seen this sort of combination prior to Parker was in Chinese Kung Fu systems, where they're using one foot to strike simultaneously with one hand, in with some of their katas. Maybe some of them doing it throughout the years. Didn't even realize that's what they were doing, but that is what they're doing in some places. And Parker took it and refined it a little bit. And he puts it in a lot of his, had these in a lot of his techniques. So you're not just doing a double strike. You'll see if we do, on this technique, as we come across, and boom, it's remember, it's a hand serve. A lot of guys are doing here and doing a double parry, like it's a parry. It's not. It's a parry and then hand serve, so I'm striking away. Then grab. But on this move, I'm doing a kick with my right and a poke with my left. So it's opposites. So you come in here. And he has this all over the system. Different targets, different weapons, but opposites. Then you'll see in long four, we have same hand. So I strike this way and come this way. So I'm coming this way as I come in. So we have that darting lead where we come in, boom, and then hit. So it's nowhere else in the system, but it's the same here. That idea of striking the same side, it's everywhere. But when you're going through this, realize the main thing I want to emphasize on this, when you step in, boom, horse stance, not a neutral bow. I haven't changed my width enough. I want to go, whoa, and now here comes this right punch. I've got to get out of the way. Sometimes you need to adjust even this foot. But get out of the way, bring it around and strike. Attack the attack. Grab, then pull hook it. Okay, one time through, kind of slow. Forwards. Good, and other direction. Ooze. All right, good, fair enough. And let's move on. And leap of death. Leap of death. So, like I said, this is one of Parker's demonstration papers. We put together a demonstration in, I think, 1989 for the internationals with Mr. Parker. He was one to say, I don't need to rehearse. I said, well, Mr. Parker, we all have an idea what we're going to do. Me and Frank Trejo and Jeff Speakman and a bunch of other, Barbara Hale, a bunch of people. So we forced ourselves, we have to rehearse a little bit. And even Frank Trejo was saying, we better rehearse. So we rehearsed a little bit. And Parker, no. At the very end of it, I'll come up and I'll do something. Okay. What we do, he's going to probably do most of the stuff on Trejo. Then he turned in, he did a little bit on all of us, and that didn't work out so well for us. But this is one of the ones he always goes to. You know, one of you is going to get thrown to the ground. He's going to jump on it. But so as the punch comes in, you step back, parry, grab, and strike. So remember, divert and seize. Divert the weapon, seize the weapon. That's not just on weapons techniques, on empty hands as well. But he goes completely to his reverse/forward bow and breaks that arm, pulling down with his right wrist, up with his left hand. And now he goes right back in and strikes the back knuckle. So the first move was to put weight on his front feet, but also mainly just to run into the front arm. This is to really nail those feet to the ground and into his ribs. You see he's pulling down with his right hand, deep with his back knuckle. He doesn't pass through, go that way. Deep into him. Then he slides up to his shoulder. Now this is important. He pulls his right hand to his hip and pushes straight down and directs Anthony to the ground. You don't have to throw him out there. Ed Parker would throw him 20 feet away. Just do it right here. Now leap up and you land in your diamond stance because your heels are going through their kidneys. You continue the downward momentum and smash the back of the head with your two heel palms and smash his face, give him a concrete facial on the ground. Immediately grab the face and yank up. And now, you'll still yank up still? So those knees now, those knees are digging into his shoulder blades. And this is your concave stance. He grabs the right hand underneath, the left hand on top, breaks the neck without changing his stance. Then he changes the stance to a kneeling stance, hands towards the nose, hits it on the other side, and then jumps off and down looping. Okay? So again, when we're, so as he does his move, a parry, just like, whoa, here it comes. Just, get out of the way, and then latch onto it. He had a lot of momentum, we're assuming. Start turning, you know, it's not a huge swing, it's coming right from my hip. Just pop it. And right from that position, like, oh my God, pop, hit down low, but boom, into it. It's not just here either, it's pop, here, I'm pulling down. I want him down. Now, I don't have to release unless I want to strike, but usually just slides right up. Push it down here and pull up. Mainly it's a push down, and if I just did this, it's okay. But when I do this and turn, my stance changed what gave me the power. Okay? When you leap, when you stomp, make sure you're hitting the kidneys on both of those. Squat down, pop. So as I leap and land, don't wait. Straight down, boom, grab, pull. As soon as I pull, in, grab, so it's 1. But look, it's 1, 2. As soon as you come up here and break it, it's 1, 2, boom, right away. And I'm kneeling hard. And then kneel hard again on the spine, hit again. Then, so once you do that last move, try to get that leap. Here we go, one more time.
Other side.
Either way.
Horse. Horse. Horse.
Good. 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 So a lot of people, when they do this, they say, be sure you get the knee checks on the back. A strike. Almost every check we have is a striking check. Almost every one. Not all. Almost. So those knees are striking checks. And circling windmills. Here's the technique. It has about 6 different segments to it. So technically, you don't always have to practice this way. It's for a push that actually gets in on you. And then they come in with a punch. So for the very first time, just do it that way. So who's pushing? So he pushes, then he comes to punching. See? So it's an upward-outward block. And a thrusting left heel palm to the solar plexus. Now, remember, if I'm looking at the camera, you guys see there? This is an upward block, this is an outward block. It's an upward-outward. It's in between. But that's where he has to be. And then he circles his other arm up the same way and hammers. That's to the left rib cage. He circles his right arm around again and hammers again, this time to the left rib cage. 3 different targets on those 3 strikes. Okay? From this position, his left hand circles again on the inside and steps in and hammers through the nose. Okay? So he's through the face, and from that position, slices palm down, palm up. Checks the arm, in place twist, hammer, unwind with a slice. Sweep with a slice, land with a slice. Grab wrist, step out, strike. So, in a perfect world, this will allow a face in. So you're punching, you're hitting his jaw. From that position, you're going to claw this way. As you go to reverse bow, hook the neck, smash the face, front cross, hammer, spinning kick. Good. All right. One time, about the same speed. I'm still talking through it. And 1, ribs 2, other ribs 3. Good. And now, check on the inside, step. And now 2, 3. Now, check hard down. See his right hand still checking that arm. He hammers this through the nose, unwinds with a slice, sweeps with the slice, lands with the slice, grabs the wrist, steps out, heel palm, claw to reverse bow, pull it down, smash the face, front cross, hammer, and spinning kick. Okay? One time from this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, slice, slice. 5 is hammer, slice, sweep, slice, land, slice. Grab, step, heel palm, reverse bow, claw, pull down, knee, heel up, and then kick. All right. Beautiful. All right. Now let's move on. And destructive hands. Destructive hands. So that's a right punch, right straight punch coming from your left flank. So we step in, double parry, hammers, grab, sweep, spin, right from there, yeah. It's an elbow back, then go check down, and now punchy kick, and then ball kick the face. Okay? And so on that one, why don't you attack from here? So we're here, so remember, a lot of people refer to this as the awkward double parry. So most double parries, we come in with the back when we do, you would parry first, it's this way, whether it's on the inside or on the outside. This one's outward inward. It's like, oh, that doesn't feel right. Do it enough and it feels fine. So as you come in, you're going, whoa, get out of the way, get it. That's got to be coming up. This is right behind it, but so instead of doing a double parry back circle, you're doing, so I'm coming just grab the gi. Don't just grab the arm. Grab the flesh. Latch onto them. You get a hold of someone's flesh. You start moving, they tend to comply. So I'm hitting this is a good one. You grab those ribs there and hang on to that skin. So I'm coming here. I hit and grab. As I grab, today I'm just going to grab the gi, but I've got flesh and flesh. See that position if you want. So yeah. So from here, anchor the elbows. So whether I sweep his foot or not, when I start moving, he comes with me. I'm not pulling him like this. My elbows are anchored, and I'm moving my body. But as I do, sweep that leg. So I still got to hold it. He's in pain. I got to hold his flesh. When you come around, though, boom. When Mr. Parker did this, he made a certain sound. So I had to watch this, see what he was doing. But it's a back knuckle. Because you spin 1, 2, 3. So you're going 1, 2. The 3 is this. 1, 2, 3. So he says there's points of contact. When you come up and slide your calf to their calf, that's when you shoot. And then from there, straight out. They land. Okay? One more time.
This.
Okay, that was Sweet. 1, 3, 4, and nice. Good. Start the fence. All right? Beginning of long 5. And let's move on to black belt techniques. And let's see. The twine maces. So twine maces is for a left, right, straight punch. And hand sword, heel palm, your cross, hammer, you can play twist, and knee. Do the other direction now. So left, right, 1, 2, 3. Heel palm as you move. Hit. Good. So you want to emphasize certain things here. So remember, when he comes in, I'm striking down. So don't, it's not a parry, it's not a block, but it's similar to a block. A block would be here, moving away from me on a downward trajectory. When you first teach students blocks, you teach them this, right? Knuckles still as high as my eyes. But this really hasn't checked out his height very much. We're just teaching them to get their arm hitting someone's arm in the first beginning. But really, it's down. And this one is really the hands are pop. So I'm trying to get deep. Remember, this weapon can get deeper into a surface. Like a blade, it goes deeper into a side of meat than a hammer does. Because the surface is thinner. The surface is real thin. So I want a thinner surface and not a big blunt surface even here. This is thinner. So I want to get into those nerves as best I can. Once again, you go into the radial nerve up here by the elbow. Boom. Right from there, though, it just comes, as that comes in, I'm just bringing it straight up, but I'm striking down again. Don't parry it. In other words, if the technique stopped right now, he should be injured here and injured here. Okay? So you want to go injury, injury. So it's 1, 2, 3. This is, again, a beautiful move, just like our freestyle techniques. Pull down, punch. So right from the punch, so hand sword. Hand sword is important. When you do the next move, don't start moving your hands. We have that in other techniques as well, but when you're hitting these techniques now, you almost never have a hand making a circle or a line or wasting motion where it's not doing something. Right? It should be frictionally checking or something. So as I do my hand sword and I want to do my rear cross, I'm going to put that heel palm here. So the idea of object obscurity, if he's looking at me and has his field of vision is here, he might be able to deflect some of the things I'm throwing. When you hit him up, not only does that hurt him a little more, but is looking this way now. It takes his eyes off of the work that I'm about to do to him. So we're here, and you keep that there. Now, before he has an idea of what I'm doing, kick out the leg and hit. This next move, hit. That move, hit. I remember back in the day I was doing this, and I felt so nice. I wasn't completely sure what I was doing, but I made it look nice. So when I hit, Mrs. Parker said, well, your foot comes off the ground, and you land in this stance. In between this stance and this stance, you should be cracking to the jaw. That's the timing. So I think I was going like that. He says, no, as soon as you start to move, just tip it off his back foot, pop, and just hit him right here. Boom. So you're going, so as I land, as I land, I've already hit him once, hit him twice. So that's the merit of gravity. Then the knee, then the hammer. We have launching techniques. We'll be here, switch. Or I'll be in a fighting stance, switch. Same idea, but you're doing it with this insert, which is just a beautiful move. So it's face, solar plexus, groin, jaw. Nice move. That, right there, that's technique all by itself. All the way through one time. Nice. Opposite side. Beautiful. And moving on, thrusting lance. So again, a low knife thrust. What constitutes and defines a low knife thrust as opposed to a high? Anything from solar plexus and below is called a low knife thrust. Just for point of reference. If it's a solar plexus or higher, that's a high knife thrust. So slowly, now let's switch places to start with. So Mr. Ramirez is in a right neutral bow. He's going to come up the circle, off the angle, and strike the radial nerve at the wrist. In a perfect world, that knife, don't do it, but that knife should be gone. If you do this right, the knife should be gone. But let's assume it's not. Immediately, he strikes it, seizes it, shuffles it, and strikes. Immediately come back now, re-grab that wrist, but re-grab it, I'll do it, but re-grab it properly, and step back like spiraling twig. Yeah, and that. So if the first and second move didn't get rid of the knife, the third does. And now, ball kick with your front foot to the rib. Ball kick with your rear foot to the solar plexus. Land, stiff lift your back knuckle, down, now diagonal, another diagonal. He slides down with his right hand, grabs the wrist, steps in, lifts him up. And now, as he does a drag step, he drags up and takes the leg out and strikes. Okay? All right. So now, Anthony, why don't we do it? So if you're in this position and you come off the line, just come off the line and hit. That's the key. So I'm not here anymore. I move weapon and move target. This is the weapon, I'm the target, like coming off. As best you can, get it locked in as I strike. But even if you have to let go, keep it checked here so I have an open end triangle. Here's that universal position again. The open end triangle. Boom. Come back and re-grab thusly though. Thumbs in the back of the hand. Come back, small circle. Because again, the angle of versatility, I don't want to come around here, get myself cut. Keep it small, and boom. From this position, kick, these strikes now. I'm still going to keep the position again. It's 1-2. Stay. If we're here, and you strike up, and you come to this position, if you're hugely muscled, you'll only come this far. But most humans come all the way to here. And as soon as it reaches its maximum point, it whips back down. It bounces off, whips back down. Don't come up, stop it, and then come back down. So as soon as you come up, it comes all the way. You feel the wind by your ear. Boom. So you come up, boom, just flailing. From here, hammer. You say, well, their arms in the way. Beautiful. You're still here, slightly angle it, come across. And then, boom, come back down. And that's what you're hitting. So this may be a target. This could be another target. Boom, come back around. But it's diagonal on that one. Slide down and grab. Twist. Step in and lift. When you lift, I have it at a certain height. But when I drag up, it gets a little higher. As I kick out, it's a universal strike. My hands are in universal position. I'm hitting right rib cage and face. Boom. Okay? One more time. Other answer? Whoever's doing it, be where I was. Good. There we go. Drag up and take it out. Exactly. Okay? All right. And Snakes of Wisdom, the Smith, you come in. This is Dasha. Oh, let's do it facing 12 o'clock. Straight on 12. And so two-hand grab, or two-person grab, right and left. And he steps back. 1. Comes forward. 2. On number 2, You're either going to injure their elbows or their shoulders, depending on where they keep their hand or if they let go. Either one though, it gets rid of the grip and injures them. He takes his hand, smashes their heads together, and then his knee to their heads. When he drops back down, as he's dropping down, there's marriage of gravity, there's energy. So shoot your weight down and you come down and grab that ankle. He lifts up and he only push drags if he has to. Normally you do have to adjust your feet. From there, just kick him in the groin, plant your foot anywhere you need to, and a roundhouse kick, any available target. So one more time. About that speed, just nice and slow. And 1, and 2, and 3, hit, and strike, lift, and kick, and kick. Any available target. Okay? On the first move, thank you, Dasha. On the first move, remember, they would say, oh, it's a 2-man attack and they're at arm's distance. I know, it says that. But never get in the habit of throwing your heel palm claws with straight arms. Because if they're close to you, and you do that, you're going to be in trouble. Because you're exposing your straight arm joint to be broken, even by yourself. Weird things happen in altercations. So, remember, what are the 2 kinds of strikes you always have to defend yourself against? Intentional and unintentional. Like Mr. Parker said, even an unintentional poke to the eye is a poke to the eye. So, make sure you always get them checked out and think of things that most people wouldn't. So as I go back, I'm always throwing elbows first. If they're close enough, you hit them with that. If they're a little further away, you'll hit them with your forearm first. And if they're where we thought they were, a little more, you're going to go boom, boom, and hit them with the claw and claw through. They come in, okay? So like Anthony tried to hang on to my shoulder a little better. And so with him, this move is going to do more to his shoulder. Mr. Lauer let go of my shoulder. This move is going to do more to his elbow because he dropped his hand behind my back. But the main thing is, when you go to do when we start doing a lot of the stick work at Kenpo, I'm always teaching, a lot of people start throwing their arm, when they have a club in their arm, suddenly they start throwing everything straight because they have a club. It's like, no, it's segmented. If I go to throw a back fist to Anthony this way, the first part of the back fist is an elbow. It's a bump. Just in case he's not where I thought he was. First part of the ball kick is a knee strike. It's knee strike kick. It's not just a kick. Same thing here. It's elbow strike. Elbow strike claw. Leg and obscure claws. Okay? Alright, let's move on. And broken rock. Broken rock. Gun technique from behind. So nice and smooth. We're going to do this one real slow. This is about 5 or 6 techniques put together. And broken rock. So he comes up the circle and 1. Grabs, steps in. Does a back to front switch, checks down. Boom. And takes it out in a forward bow. Strikes up. Hammer. Leaps off, hits the elbow. Kick. Lift. Down. And strike. There's so much in this technique that normally we'll take, I'll take 45 minutes doing a normal class. In the seminar, it'll be about an hour and a half on this technique. At least, there's so much to it. So I'll try to do a very abbreviated version. Again, a technique I did a million different ways before at Parker. All pretty fun, all pretty good, but this one's a little more logical. So again, when we're moving up the circle, if someone's coming this way, we always want to get off the line. So we'll come up to a twist dance, for instance, and go up the line. Off the line, still facing the target. Same thing here. Pivot on the ball of your left foot, and you're actually going to be as if you're stepping. If that's my 12, that's my 430. As if you're stepping to 430, pivot on this foot, but turn into that twist stance. So now his gun is bypassing me. His trajectory is past my arm, and I've jammed him a little bit. Okay? So when you look at your feet, 12 is there, 430 is there. Pivot on the ball, your left foot, that's your launch. This one picks up just slightly off the ground and turn. So now I see my back itself started parrying his gun. So you're coming in here. Divert, seize right away. Divert, seize right away. As I step in here. You're probably going to be stepping on his foot, but you're trying to check the inside of that shin, this way, as you break. Keep this here. I want to jam this knee right there. I can't do it because my leg's in the way. So I'm going to keep him in pain as I slide just back enough so I can get this foot in there. So it's a half back to front switch. I slide back and shoot in. When I shoot in, this nails that knee there. As I did that, I checked on top. You're going to take the gun out from this position, but you're in a neutral bow here. go to a forward bow and take it out. So the neutral, forward, neutral, and this is what I was never doing with that Parker. I was moving on from here. He said, no, once you get it, don't just take it out from here. Go to a forward bow. The forward bow helps check you down a little better. Yank that gun away. You're in a forward bow now. Straight up, hammer. So, you guys do this with me? So we're all facing here. So, we just did a technique before where we came straight up and straight down. Straight up and straight down. This met its limit and it bounced back down as we directed it to do so. But now bring it up here and direct it this way. So as soon as you come up in forward bow, it has to come all the way, and when it starts to bounce back, now turn those hips, boom, this way. You're coming up, boom. So on this technique, you're going gun, gun. So it's 1, 2. From here, go like this now. 1, 2, hit the arm, diagonal kidney, horizontal. So it's a nice little drill to do, just to learn the universal pattern. Straight up, hammer, so it's vertical, horizontal. Diagonal, coming closer to me. Back up on a diagonal, back down a diagonal, horizontal at the end. So we do that, let's just do this in the air, guys. So once we turn on the person, we hit him here. Switch, boom. Forward bow, take it out. 1, 2, leap off, boom, 3, kick, land up. Back down, and then strike, and come all the way back up. But the gun, the striking, and this is important, so let's go here. So once we took it out, and we're going 1, 2, you leap off, pop, and hit the elbow. Boom, kick, and as I land, I hit here first. I'm hitting here first. Up, and then back down. Okay? So, the idea of this one is, when we're coming to this position, that's right. So strike, strike. When you're coming here, leap off, strike. Now do that one with me. You guys watch at home, do this one. As you come in, strike, strike, leap off, hit. Here we go. Step up, strike, strike, leap off, hit. And one more time, strike, strike, leap off, hit. And now 1, 2, go. So you're continually going after the arm that held the weapon. Constantly going after and brutalizing that arm. All right, one more time through. Smooth. Take it out. Up, hit, leap, hit the arm. Kick, up, down, and circle. All right, and the last one for tonight. Define the rod. Define the rod. So this is where the gun is out of your reach. Just out of your medium range weapon, which is your arm. And so Anthony goes from a natural stance up the circle and diverts and sees and then kicks and pokes. One more time. Let's do it. Turn on this, guys. One more time. He comes 1. Divert and sees. Now he's going to kick and poke simultaneous. Hammer, flap, grab, break it out, hit behind the neck, bring him down, circle sandwich, all again, and kick, kick, hit, and spinning kick. Good. So I just want to hit on a couple things tonight on this one, because again, an easy hour with this technique if we chose to. So again, from natural position, and I'm just out of range, if I come up the circle though, which just got me off the line of attack, I can now reach it. So from here, I couldn't reach it. Once I go up the circle, I can reach it. Divert and seize right away. All right, you're going to poke the eyes and kick the groin. So we're going to boom. As we land, not only am I hitting with my knee, I want to emphasize this part though. Ed Parker's known, one of his master key moves is hitting someone in the arm, which means their face come in, pop, hit. He'll come in, pop, all the time. That's an Ed Parker move, pop, pop, every time. But what he's doing is a little bit more. He's hitting the bicep and the forearm, causing a compound strike. This is the weapon, and you're going pop, pop, pop. And it numbs that arm. I know. So, as we come in, pop, and just as that hits there, pow, hit and grab. So when he's His minds occupy their mind with pain and defensive maneuvering. It takes their mind off of offensive maneuvering. So pain, pain, pain. And once he's thinking about that, grab that gun. See how I come over? Anchor my elbows down this way, and pop that gun out, break it against his fingers. Keep it here, boom. Open-end triangle. This weapon and this weapon are hitting two surfaces of his neck. Boom. All right, so you bring it back with you. All right. Emphasize that part. After the poke and kick, land with a pop. But bicep, forearm, jaw, break. Slowly and go. Elbow face. Sink. Beautiful. Thank you, gentlemen. Josh? All right, nice. All right, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, we're just kind of scratching the surface on most of these techniques, but I think there's things in there you can pick up that maybe you weren't familiar with or less familiar with or are very familiar, but it's nice to see it again and do it again and practice it. These are some of the things I emphasize, like I said before, are the things that Parker emphasized with me. And so now I emphasize them with you. Not all the things he shared, but many of them. All right. We'll see you in the next class. The other pick. And horse pick.